Okay, so I'll always give you choices, and some of the harder stuff will come later on. So I'll tell you to like remember what the first choice was so that you can do it when maybe I'm showing you something that is unappealing. So let's start at the top of the mat, hands together, and just take a deep breath. Let's inhale all together, and exhale, lower your arms by your sides. Inhale to reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees if you need to. Halfway up, inhale. Left foot back, exhale. So we're just in a lunge. Straighten the right leg, inhale. Bend the right leg, exhale. Left foot forward, inhale. Right foot back, exhale. Straighten the left leg, inhale. Bend the left leg, exhale. Right foot forward, inhale. Fold forward completely, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. And to chaturanga, step or jump back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. We just stay here. 5 breaths. We practice getting the hands situated so that the fingers are spread wide and useful to us. And we're pressing into the finger pads, into those knuckles. And after your exhale, step or jump, feet to hands. Inhale there at the top. Exhale to fold. All the way up, inhale. We're just going to fold again for the exhale. Head towards shin bones. Halfway up, inhale. Left foot back, exhale. Straighten the right leg, inhale. Bend the right leg, exhale. Simple twist, right arm up, inhale. Untwist, exhale. Back foot forward, inhale. Right foot back, exhale. Straighten the front leg, inhale. Bend the front leg, exhale. Right palm flat, twist, inhale. Untwist, exhale. Back foot forward, chest forward, inhale. Fold fully, exhale. Halfway up, inhale, that's preparation for chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. To downward facing, exhale. 1, belly in. 2, 3, practice rolling your triceps down. 4, and 5. After the exhale, step or jump forward. Inhale there at the top, fold, exhale. Rise all the way up, inhale, and we'll just fold again for the exhale. Halfway up, inhale, left foot back again, exhale. Right leg straight, inhale, whatever you define straight as, exhale, bend. Simple twist. Keep the knee over the ankle. Untwist, exhale. Launch the back leg up. Inhale, so that your back leg is roughly parallel to the floor. Return to your lunge. Exhale. One more time like that. So you're pushing with the back leg and pulling with that front leg. Return to the lunge. And use that same action to reach forward and just lower the foot. Fold, head towards shins. Halfway up, inhale, other leg, right foot will step back. And just straighten the front leg. Inhale, bend it, exhale. Simple twist, knee stays over the ankle, untwist. And we just practice propelling forward, chest forward, and return to your lunge. So there's pushing with the back foot, pulling with the front, inhale, return to the lunge, exhale. And we use that same thing to launch forward, land the right foot next to the left, fold, exhale. Halfway up, inhale, to chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale, downward facing, exhale. Let's lift the heels up high for this one and bring them to the right. So your toes face the left. Just bend the right knee. Your right leg is sort of useless at the moment. Just stretch through the left waist. Arms stay straight. Chest is still pressing toward the legs. And then just pivot the legs to the other side. Now it's the right leg strong, the left knee bent. We stretch the right waist. And feet back to normal parallel. Inhale, heels up high, bend the knees, exhale and jump forward. Inhale there, straight legs, fold, exhale. Rise all the way up, inhale, and fold again, exhale. Halfway up, inhale, send the left leg back, exhale. This time high lunge, arms up, inhale. To cactus arms, exhale, and straighten the right leg, inhale. Bend, exhale, just one more time like that. Squeeze the thighs together so you don't lose your balance. There's the inhale, exhale to bend. Fingers down, back leg launches forward, inhale, and we land the foot, fold, exhale. Halfway up, inhale, send the right leg back, exhale. High lunge, inhale. Arms to cactus, exhale. Straighten the front leg, inhale. Keep bringing the right hip forward. Exhale, bend the knee. One more time, inhale, right hip forward. Bend the knee, exhale. Fingertips down, back leg forward, chest forward, inhale. Land the foot, fold, exhale. Prepare, inhale, halfway up. Step or jump, chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Right leg high, inhale. Use some momentum, some strength, step forward, exhale. High lunge, inhale. Again, cactus arms, exhale. Again, straighten the leg, inhale. And cactus arms, exhale. So combining this with what you did before, we're going to lean forward, launch the back leg, and reach forward. So we're in a warrior three. Then return to your lunge with cactus arms. Return to warrior three, reaching forward as that leg reaches back. Gently step back, cactus arms. Chest is lifted. And just one more time. So we're just leaning and returning. And we'll lower the hands down, either vinyasa or downward dog. Depends how much energy you have that you need to expend. And we'll try the other leg. Left leg high, inhale. Step forward to the hands. Exhale. High lunge, inhale. Two cactus arms, exhale. Lean forward, launch up, inhale. And return to your lunge, nice and graceful if possible. Two more times. So it's just how do you counter your back leg with your arms. And later when we go into an arm balance, it will be the same kind of idea. How do you find that pivot point? We'll lower the hands down, either down dog or vinyasa. We'll meet with straight arms, straight legs, relaxed neck, belly drawing in. Let's walk the hands back to the feet. When you get them there, reach for your big toes, first two fingers and thumbs. Inhale, chest forward, Belly in, fold, exhale. Shake out the head if you want. And just keep the belly drawing in. Even if your knees are bent, you're trying to bring your torso just up and over the legs. Let's straighten the arms for an inhale. Place the hands flat on the ground and walk into downward dog again. The further your hands get from your legs, the stronger you're going to have to be in the legs. Otherwise, the heels will pop up a little too soon. Right leg high, inhale. And let's step forward to the hands, exhale. Warrior one, inhale. We're going to interlace the fingers, press the palms up. And if you can stay balanced, just a little lean to the right. So you'll stretch through the left waist. You're going to have to be a little extra strong in the back leg. Take one more breath here. We'll come through center again. Release the arms down and lower the back knee down. So we're in Anjaneyasana with the fingers sort of under the hips. You might want blocks. One of the good things about practicing at home, you can just use books. Nobody knows the difference. Either stay there or right arm up and over. That's the other direction that we reach. And we're just going to try to bring that right hip down toward the ground, even as the right arm reaches away. Now let's come through center, hands down, and either vinyasa or downward dog. You know how much energy you have to expend. And we'll try the other side. Left leg high, inhale. Step to the hands, exhale for warrior one. So anchor that back heel, reach up. Interlace the fingers the way that might feel a little weird. And if you can, lean a little to the left with the hands, the elbows, maybe the shoulders. And we'll bring it up through center, inhale. Release the fingers so the arms now travel down. Right knee moves down, and we settle in Anjaneyasana. Either stay there or left arm up and over. The right hand wherever you want so that you feel balanced. Left hip toward the floor. And we'll come up through center, hands down, vinyasa or downward dog. Let's come down to the knees for a moment, hands and knees, I should say. And we're just going to keep our arms straight, but play with this idea of arms in the socket versus arms out. We're going to do that from the forearms. We'll measure out the elbows, interlace the fingers, and just play with that again. Letting the arms settle in and reach away. And take it into dolphin, knees up. We press into the edge of the hand, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow. And if you want, walk your feet in toward your elbows, place your head, and start to lift your legs. But it's just a walking in. There's never a jumping or throwing of the legs. And press into your edge of hand and wrist so much that you start to feel a little space by your shoulder. And we'll just reverse by lowering the legs. Eventually the toes touch the ground. Then we'll lift the head by pushing harder into the wrist. We can let the hands separate, down dog B. And we'll straighten the arms, normal downward dog, 2 hands, 2 feet. Let's lift the right leg up high, inhale. My cat left, she's not impressed. Right foot forward, exhale. High lunge, inhale. Into warrior two, exhale. Return to high lunge again, inhale. So we're just pivoting on the ball of the back foot. Exhale to open it up. One more time, inhale. And warrior two, exhale. Into Parshvakonasana, either forearm to thigh or hand down to either side of the foot or binding around the leg. 1, 2, 3. Those of you bound, remember it's the knuckles of the right hand that are against your body. Your right palm faces away so that you can grab your left wrist. And 5. We're just going to straighten the right leg some amount for the inhale. The upper body can stay however you situated it. Exhale to bend the knee. 2 more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale to bend. And just however straight it wants to go, do that. Push into the floor with the right foot to get it straight. And dig into your heel and drag your knee to bend. We'll slowly unravel. Step back. Lower down, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Left foot will step forward. High lunge, inhale. To warrior two, exhale. Crack pump. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. One more time. Inhale. Right hip moves forward. Exhale, now right hip is facing long edge of the mat. Parshvakonasana. Whatever version you did. If you're going into the bind, you kind of lean your left shoulder inside of your knee. That's 2. Keep the right leg straight. 3, 4, 5. We'll keep the arms how you have them. Inhale to a straight left leg. Exhale to bend. Push the floor away with the ball of the left foot, straight leg. Dig into the left heel, bend the knee, exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. We'll unravel the hands. Step back. Exhale to chaturanga. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Let's walk the hands back to the feet. Slide the hands underneath so the palms face up, toes by wrist. Your knees can be super bent if you want. Inhale and exhale to fold. You just work on getting the legs straighter over the course of the 5 breaths. 3. Imagine putting your shoulder blades into your back pockets. 4. And 5. Release the hands down in front of the feet and keep the legs strong as you walk the hands forward again. Eventually, in a normal downward dog, the heels pressing down, either into the ground or into the space close to the ground. Right leg up high, inhale, and step to the hands, exhale. High lunge, inhale, into warrior two, exhale. We'll straighten the right leg, triangle pose, reach out and down. We're just going to take 3 breaths here. That's 1, 2, and 3. Lower the hands, quarter turn to the side, prasara to D. Reach for the big toes, first 2 fingers and thumbs, inhale, and fold forward, exhale. 1, So this is another shoulder blade and back pocket kind of pose. 2, which means you have to work your upper back a lot. 3, your shoulders have to defy gravity, in essence. 4, and 5. Straighten the arms for an inhale, hands to the hips, exhale, and come the rest of the way up. Inhale, we're just gonna pivot so that our left foot faces the short edge of the mat. Triangle pose, 3 breaths. Left hand either to the foot, the ankle, the shin. 1. And if you have no neck pain, bring your chin toward your right shoulder. And 3. We'll rise up for an inhale and just pivot to face the front of your mat. We'll lower the hands. Exhale to either chaturanga or downward dog. We'll come to hands and knees again. So in a headstand, have a quick look-see at your little screen. We have our hands usually like this in a headstand. So we're going to start like that, but then we're going to bring our hands more together, and that's going to send our head off the ground a little bit. You'll in essence squeeze your head out of the way. So we'll give it a try. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. Measure out your elbows, interlace your fingers, and let there be a straight line between elbow and knuckles. So your palms are at this moment separated. Lower the head, and we'll start to lift the legs. However high up they want to go. And once you get to your spot, you'll just start to squeeze the palms toward each other, and you'll feel your head start to lift off the ground. A lot or a little, whatever it is. And start to separate them again so your head goes back to the ground. And start to lower your legs from whence they came. Separate the hands, down dog B, into downward dog. Let's just bring the right foot forward to the hands, left knee down. We'll straighten the right leg. And we're just gonna make a circle with the foot, and this is gonna train your ankle. So some of you will find it easy, most of us won't. Pinky toe down, then we swoop around, and we bring the toes to angle in, so we're stretching the outer shin, and reflex. Do that again. Later when we go to Janu Trasasana C, you're gonna need some flexibility in the ankle. Let's go the other direction. If there's a tender spot, just stay a little bit extra there. And then once your foot is back to straight, rebend the knee, lift the back knee off the ground, swing that back foot in a smidge for a twisted triangle. So our heels line up, back foot about 45 degrees, left hand where you need it to be, so that you can balance. And we just look up. If you're not using your right hand to adjust your hips, you can see your fingers. I often use that hand to either lift the left hip up toward the ceiling or to push the right hip back. And let's slowly untwist. Return to your Anjaneyasana. Left knee down, straighten the right leg. And this time we're going to pause with the toes facing the side. If this is not enough for you, if you don't feel like the outer edge of your right leg is ripping apart, scoot your right foot to the left edge of your mat, and then do it. Flex the foot, spin it in. You can even come down to the forearms if it suits you. If you are a runner, the chances of you getting to your forearms is low. Does not mean you should stop running. It just means that you'll look a little different in this pose. And we'll come on up, and we'll just switch legs. So right foot to normal, left foot you can propel forward, and right foot will go back. Lower the right knee, Straighten the left leg and just start to draw some circles with the right toes as big as you can. Make it thorough so that you feel the stretch in the outer shin and the top of the foot all the way around. And switch your direction. Okay, rebend the left leg, twisted triangle. So the back foot has to come in a little bit, both legs straight. That might mean that your right hand has to be on something. It could even be on your left shin. That counts. Just get that left leg straight. And left arm up when you're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly get out of there, return to Anjaneyasana, straighten the left leg, and from the hip, we swivel the toes out to the side. So the knee and the ankle don't change. And then if it was easy, foot to the edge, otherwise same deal. Maybe lower to the elbows, maybe not. Okay, we'll meet in downward dog. Come up however you can, vinyasa or not. Find your straight arms, straight legs. And just lift the right leg up behind you, still straight. I'm just going to scooch forward a little in case I ended up out of frame. So stare at your right knee. See that it's angling down. Flex your right foot so your toes are also angling down. All that's going to change is we're going to lift our right hip a few inches and swing the leg out to the right side. So now it's making a L shape with our left leg. Now we have to work to keep the arms straight. And swing the leg back again and lower it down. Other side, left leg. Stare at it for a moment. Is the leg straight, foot flexed, kneecap down? And when you go to open the hip, the knee will start to also face front, so that when you swing the leg to the side, your toes are angling toward the front edge of your mat, just like your fingers are. And swing it back, lower the foot down. Inhale, heels up high, bend the knees, exhale, look forward and jump. Inhale there. Fold, exhale. Utkatasana. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach up. Let's hold opposite elbows and pull the elbows back. Let's release the grip. Come onto the tippy toes of the right foot until you can get the foot off the ground. Keep the left knee bent for now, the standing leg bent, and just pull the right knee to the chest. So that's just bending the elbows. Then straighten the left leg, keeping the right knee where you had it. We'll return to Utkatasana by releasing the foot down, arms up. Hold opposite elbows, pull the shoulders open. Dig the heels into the floor. And we'll bring the hands around. Come onto the tippy toes of the left foot till you can get the leg off the ground. Interlace the fingers. When your hip says your knee can come closer, all that changes is you bend your elbows. Then keep that happening, arms strong. Straighten the standing leg. Return to Utkatasana. Foot comes down, arms go up. Fold on the exhale. Halfway up for the inhale. And just send the left foot back. So we're in a lunge like we were earlier. Very simple. So stare at your right knee, just check that it stays over your ankle. We're gonna twist, prayer twist. The left arm will hook over the leg. Palms will come together, thumbs by the center chest, but still look down and just check that your knee didn't move in some crazy way. Dig your right heel into the floor, and then when you can, look up to the ceiling over your right shoulder. One more breath here. We'll unravel, lower the left knee down, and just start to scooch the feet apart so that you can find your version of Hanumanasana. That right leg will start to come closer to the ground. Engage the thigh of the right leg. Use the hands to help steer you straight. And to change sides, we're going to return to Anjaneyasana, so that right foot has to drag in again. Left knee up, and like you did before, propel your chest forward. Float that left foot down. Then other side, right leg will float up and gracefully back into your lunge. Check that the knee is not doing something crazy. It all starts with the foot being securely anchored. And when you can, hook your arm outside of your leg. Try to get your hands together, not by your left shoulder, but by your center chest. So you have to push your left hand down into your right hand. That's going to want to maybe send your knee too far to the inside. So you have to push your knee into your arm. Gaze up if you can. And we'll unravel. We'll lower the right knee down and creep the legs apart so you wind up in your version of a split. Back toes could be tucked or not. I usually keep mine tucked so that the pose more resembles a lunge, because I don't really have that all-out flexibility that lets me just kind of plunk onto the ground. So I have to keep squeezing the legs together. We'll start to bend the left knee again, sole of the foot eventually down, and lift the right knee so you can propel yourself forward on the inhale, and float the right foot next to the left, fold, exhale. Bend into the knees, inhale. Reach up. This time interlace your fingers just behind the head. Press the head gently into the hands so that you feel like your chest, armpits, triceps, throat all starts to open a bit. Stay there one more breath. We'll release the hands. We're going to bring our hands to our hips for a moment. Start to draw in with the front side, the abs up. Bend your knees a little more and reach your right hand down for your big toe of the right foot. We're going to keep both knees bent. We're just going to lift the right leg off the floor and try to pull the knee in toward the chest. Similar to what you did before when you held your shin. And straighten the right leg as much as you can. Then straighten the left leg as much as you can. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. And on your next exhale, bring the leg to the side. Gaze to the left if your balance feels okay. And if you can keep pushing your foot firmly into your hand, you'll stay pretty well balanced. We're going to start to bend the right knee and bring the foot high up on the left leg for tree. Arms up. And notice that your knee is facing the side. Try to do that while dropping the tailbone down. Just stay one more breath. Exhale, the foot down and the hands down. Inhale, both arms up. We'll just fold forward, exhale. Halfway up for the inhale. And stay low, just bring your hands to your hips. Start to bend the knees. Belly in. You'll feel a bit of a rounding in your back. Then left hand is going to reach down. Flex the left foot so that you can get your fingers under that big toe. And your left knee is already pretty close to your chest. So keep it that way as you start to come up. The standing leg is also bent for the moment. Straighten the top leg first. It's a little easier. Then straighten the bottom leg. However straight they will go. As long as you're pushing into your hand and into the floor, you will stay balanced. Leg out to the side on an exhale. You can look right if you're balanced. So at this moment, your right kneecap is facing front. Your left kneecap is facing the ceiling. Let's bend the left knee, sole of foot to the right thigh. And make sure that the left knee is facing, I lost my balance. Left knee is facing the side. Left hip is facing front. Reach up. Keep your left hip facing front. Drop your tailbone down. Next, exhale, lower the arms and the foot. Let's vinyasa before we do another version. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold. Halfway up, inhale. And stepward jump back, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. We'll jump forward. We'll straighten the legs a little bit, but not all the way. We're going to flex the foot of the right foot so that just your right heel's on the ground. Interlace your fingers. Slide them underneath that foot. Bend both knees. Keep your right knee near your chest and start to come up. At some point, you'll feel like your balance is pretty clearly a standing on the left foot endeavor. Your right leg is totally up. Then press foot into hands. Then straighten the standing leg, kick, and fold head towards shin if you want. Belly in. The way out, bend both legs again. We're going to bring either the right ankle to the lower left thigh, which you do many times normally, flying pigeon, or heel to belly button, half lotus. If you're in half lotus, your knee is going to be moving down as opposed to out to the side like your tree earlier. We'll fold forward if you're in half lotus. Your heel will be pressing into your belly. You can either have both hands on the ground or right hand comes around and finds your big toe. Take 2 more breaths wherever you wound up. If you're folded in half lotus, halfway up for the inhale, stay for the exhale, and then come up the rest of the way. If you're in flying pigeon, release that down. Let's vinyasa. Inhale, and fold forward, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Straight legs, jump it back, lower down. Straight legs as you inhale, and straight legs, downward dog. Stepward jump forward. Inhale, straight legs if you can. And exhale, we fold and bend the legs. Interlace fingers under the left foot. When you can, start to lift. Your knee is close to your chest. And you can stay with the knees bent. As you feel comfortable, left leg straight. Then right leg straight. And belly in, maybe head to shin. You start to bring it in again. Flying pigeon. So if you're in flying pigeon, your ankle is very flexed, lower thigh. If you're moving to half lotus, you just let it slide up. Now your foot is right in the hip crease. There's like 2 inches of toe dangling over. We fold forward if you're in half lotus. Make a decision about your left hand. Do you need it for balance, or do you want to bring it around your back? If you're folded in half lotus, inhale halfway up. Stay, exhale, and we'll all come up on an inhale. Let it go. Reach up whenever you're ready, and move through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. Now let's jump through to sitting. I'm going to take a peek at the clock. Okay. So sitting. Tim always calls this the promised land because the standing poses are really hard. Okay, right foot to left inner thigh. Janyu A. So make sure before you fold that just like in tree, your knee is out to the side. Left knee up. Then twist and reach for the foot, head toward the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll rise up and just change sides. Right leg out straight, kneecap up. Left foot to right thigh, knee out to the side. Like 90 degrees between your thighs. Twist to face the straight leg and fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll rise up, straighten out that left leg. We'll bring our hands down in front of the hips, not next to, but maybe 8 inches in front of. Lean forward, round your back, straighten your arms. Your butt will come off the ground. Just lift one foot on top of the other, like you're lounging, and start to bring your knees toward your chest so that your feet can scoot through your hands. Then step back, vinyasa. And we'll jump through to sitting. We'll keep the left leg straight, and we'll bring the right leg to a baby cradle, which we do basically every day. So hopefully it feels good. You should feel something in this hip. If you don't feel anything there, it means you need to push your foot a little more into your arm. You need to roll your shoulders back more so that your leg is closer to your chest. And you need to lean forward a little bit more. So either you're going to bend your left leg and practice bringing yourself a little more forward in this hip stretch, or you're going to bring your leg into a half lotus. If you're in half lotus, you're going to fold. Wrap your right arm behind you. This is the exact same thing you did when you were standing up. But now you don't have to deal with balance. So maybe you go a little bit closer, head to leg. Maybe your grip on your right foot is a little more secure. I always use this opportunity to wipe sweat off my face onto my pants. And we'll rise up, straighten the right leg, baby cradle the left leg. And if you can't get your foot into your elbow, you're just going to be here, holding your leg. It's a little harder because then you have to use your bicep a lot, but it will do the trick. So find a way to create your hip stretch. Roll your shoulders back. Don't let your arms get pulled out of the socket. And either bring your right knee in so you can start to work the stretch from a different angle, or let the foot slide up the leg, half lotus, wrap, inhale, and fold on the exhale. We'll slowly rise up, straighten both legs from wherever you were. Again, we'll bring the hands forward of the hips. Notice your elbows are bent as you're bringing your chest close to your thighs. So now all you have to do is straighten the arms. Your butt will automatically come up off the ground. One foot on top of the other. Drag it in, knees toward your chest. Keep dragging it through. Step back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Let's come onto the knees for a moment. Toe crunch. I'm going to face away from you so you can see the feet. So for a while, I remember in my life, I had an issue with my foot, and one foot was doing this weird bowing out to the side thing. So if that's you, and it's painful to bring your ankles and feet together, just stand up on the knees, because then there's less pressure in your toes. If you can, you sit, but only you know if you're dying or not. Right arm up and over, left arm around the back, Gomukhasana style. You can hold a strap, or you can just keep your left hand on your right elbow. Does not have to also join the party. The head does have to press into the right arm. Let's let that go and change sides. And reassess your toes. Can you handle more or less for the next few breaths? I've done this so much that my toes feel nothing. I could stay like this forever. But I know for a lot of folks, this is brutally painful. Think of opening the throat. And we'll slowly get out of there. My kitty's walking around, so if you want something cute to see, look at the screen. Hello, my boo. And we'll step back to downward dog. And we'll jump through to sitting. Let's bring the right foot again to that Janushasana A position. This will be a transition place. So notice that your knee is facing out to the side. Some of you right now are going to come into C position, not everybody. If you want C, your toes will face out at a bit of a diagonal. I'll face this way so you can see. The heel is going to be up. And then as I get my arch lined up with the left thigh, I'm going to bring that right knee in so it faces the same way as the toes. So it's no longer the Janu A out to the side straight. It's coming in a bit. Then we fold. So if you thought toe crunch was awful, this is not going to be for you because you have toe crunch happening, but also this crazy ankle situation. It is a lovely pose if you have back pain, because that heel is going to dig into your front and help stretch the mid-back. We'll slowly get out of there. Release the right leg out. Before we do the other side, hands down. We're just going to lift our butt for a moment, maybe legs, and then come on down. Side two. So the way I get into Janu C, I should say, is I do a little of this, pulling the hip open, and then as it feels like it's time, I'm going to pull the heel up and let the toes come down. So the foot is kind of vertical. And then you just kind of adjust with your butt to let the knee and toes face a diagonal. And we'll fold. And if Janu C, this is Janushasana, which means head to knee. If C position is not for you, return to A, which is sole of foot to thigh, knee out to the side. That's one of the reasons we did some of those ankle stretches earlier. Let's slowly get out of there. We'll bring our hands down forward of our hips. And again, we'll practice the jumping back. So it all starts by getting your butt up. Once your butt is up, cross an ankle. And then it's just dragging your heels toward you. And then scooting them under the little space you created. Step back and lower down. Inhale. And downward dog, exhale. Let's come through to sitting. Marchasana A. So the right heel close to your butt. Maybe 5 inches between foot and left thigh. Before we go totally into it, right hand to left foot. Left hand is just out to the side for the moment, like a kickstand, and just bring your body forward, using the hands to help kind of nudge you. Take a deep inhale, then wrap your right arm around your right leg, exhale. When you're ready, left hand can come up to hold your right. Actually, it's more your right hand holding your left wrist. We fold any amount. You can use a strap for this bind, or you can even keep your hands like this out to the sides and not be in the bind. The takeaway from this is that your back is rounding. So work your belly, draw it in, and slowly get out of there. Legs straight, hands down, lean forward, lift your butt. If you want, swing your butt back, lift your legs, and then lower it down. Other side. Left foot has to come pretty close if you're going to get the bind. But John, you're not going to do that because of knees, so then just take the bind out of the equation. Your knee has to be okay with that before you can deal with shoulders. Left hand to right foot. Bring your body forward. Keep your left leg close to your body, inhale. And wrap around, exhale. So your armpit is in front of your shin bone. As low as you can get it. And your mid-back is pressing up into your right forearm. Let's slowly unravel. Straighten out that leg. Hands come down. Lean forward and straighten the arms. Cross one leg on top. Drag it in. Knees will come close. And then you just scooch the feet through. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. We'll jump it through again to sitting. Marchasana B. So what you just did was A. For B, everything is the same except the left leg is going to come into a half lotus first. If this is not for you, you're just going to tuck your left foot in close to your right thigh, like under your butt basically, but not sitting on it. So it would look like this if you're not choosing half lotus, and it would look like this if you're choosing half lotus. The toes are kind of stuck in the hip. Either way, the left leg is whatever it is, but the right arm is going to reach forward like it did before and wrap around your leg like it did before. So 3 out of 4 limbs are doing the same thing. I usually, about halfway through the count, readjust to try to get lower on the shin bone, because then the head can come down to the floor. Let's slowly unravel and straighten out both legs. So if you just tried that with half lotus and you're not used to it, chances are good that right now your left ankle is dying. I understand. There's not really any good way to deal with that other than practice. Hands down, lean forward, lift your butt. Either stay there or lift your legs and come on down. Okay, right leg either half lotus and then left knee up, or right foot tucked in behind your left heel. And reach the left arm forward as far as you can. The left hip is not going to be on the ground, so don't even really try to achieve that. And when you're approaching the bind, you might even want to lean so far forward at first that your butt does come off the ground. So I just took like 2 breaths in one spot, then I unravel my arms and try to redo it. That's one of the great things about Mysore class, is that you're counting your own. So sometimes you might stay like 10 breaths in a pose because it takes a while to even get into it. All right, we'll get out of there. Straighten out your legs. Hands down. Take it through your vinyasa. I know this can be a very frustrating way, but it's going to develop the core strength. So try to do it that way. Even if it seems like it's not working, it sort of is working. You'll just maybe not see the result for another couple of years. Let's come to hands and knees. Just one more little kind of crunchy thing from headstand. So we'll just do the basic Padahasta A. We're just going to try to bring the knees close to the chest and then up again. Take your time. If you don't have a wall and you need one, just don't go up all the way. I want us to stay in the more difficult zone anyway. So once you feel comfortable balanced, you bring your knees in toward your chest as low as they'll go. You'll notice it's difficult. And then you'll come up a bit until it's easy again. And then you'll go down again. So you don't have to come all the way up between each one. You just go to where you realize you're out of that really hard spot. And let's meet in a child's pose. Take a few breaths. And if for any reason you're not inverting today, just go to dolphin pose where the head stays off the ground. I'll just show you dolphin. If you know it, you don't have to look at your screen, but this would be dolphin. It's a great substitute for headstands. Let's meet in downward dog. We'll jump through to sitting. Baddha Konasana. A, soles of the feet together. Open the feet up like a book. Inhale. Chest down toward the feet. Exhale. Think shoulder blades in the back pockets again. And automatically you'll notice how that makes your chest move forward. Stay there. And we'll come on up and we'll meet in a squat. If you have any wrist issues, you're going to come into this pose. And maybe all of you would want to come into this once. We're going to do things twice anyway. You would bring your forearms down, your knees toward your upper arms, head is off the ground, and you'll lift your toes. And you're going to practice lifting your butt a little bit higher. And in your head, you're going to think Pincha Mayurasana. Even though you're not going to end up in Pincha Mayurasana, you're just going to think of that lift. So that's for folks with wrist issues. Otherwise, you're going to come into Bakasana, knees to arms, and you're just going to practice putting your head on the ground, and lifting your head up again. And you're just gonna notice how much your fingertips are working for you when you do this. You really have to pull your chest forward, just like we did in those very early lunges when we were stepping our feet forward. It was for this, so that you could get your chest forward. So try it as many times as you want, either that version of head up and down, your knees always stay on your arms, or the baby bakasana, which is very misnamed because there's nothing baby about it. When you're done with whichever thing you've chosen, we're just gonna meet in down dog. Take your time. And let's jump through to sitting on our butts. Marichyasana C. Heel close to your butt, but this time the foot is close to the thigh because you're not going to need to fold forward. So we don't have to clear this thigh. We're going to twist and hook the left arm on the right leg. You could stay like this, the right hand helping you sit up tall, or roll the left shoulder forward. I like to lean back a little to get the flesh of the belly to move outside the leg. And then the thumb of that left hand is going to lead you around the shin. When you don't need the right hand anymore, you'll hold that right wrist with the left hand and twist. And you'll notice breathing is a challenge. Let's slowly unravel. And we're just gonna cross the legs some easy way and hold the feet. Pull the knees in toward the shoulders. No problem. So keep your arrangement with your limbs. We're just gonna rock back onto the shoulder blades and onto the butt again. And we'll just do that a few times. And you have to round your back so that it's not jagged. And then we'll be up for the other side. Marichyasana C. So we'll straighten out the right leg. Left knee is going to face up. So it's not slightly in or slightly out, it's just up. And we hug the knee to the right shoulder. Negotiate your boobs, your belly flesh, your thigh flesh. Hook high up on that right arm. That thumb is going to lead in front of your shin bone. The right knuckles are going to be near your right hip. Then the left hand just gets fed to the right. And we'll slowly unravel. And let's cross the shins again. This time, instead of holding your feet, hold your shin bones. Pull the knees in and just rock and roll at your own pace. Just try to figure out, how are you getting your back to round? I like to drop my chin on the descent. When you've had enough of such things, hands will come down. The same place they were when we had our legs straight. It's just that the legs are not straight to see that. But they're not next to the hips, they're forward. Lean forward, lift your butt, drag your feet through. It's the same thing you did before, it's just starting with the knees bent instead of having one leg plop on top of the other. Same thing, we meet in downward dog. Let's come through to sitting. Either you're going to fold your left leg so that the heel is close to your right hip. For Urdhva Kukkutasana, you know this one, we do it pretty often. Could even look like this. The right foot is outside of the left knee. Or you're going to try Marichyasana D, which is a doozy. It's just like C. And remember how in B pose, you had your foot tucked in behind your heel. You can do that as well. Full pose is half lotus with the left leg. Right foot close to your butt, so the knee is up. And then with your half lotus, you take your bind. So you decide what your legs are doing. If you're in Urdhva Kukkutasana, the bind is different. And we'll slowly get out of wherever that was. You notice that I shut up real quick when I got into Mari D. That's a really hard pose. So we're going to either go for Urdhva Kukkutasana. Let's see, it would be the left leg up, left foot over the right knee, comme ça. Or you're going to do your version of Mari D, either imitating the half lotus or right leg half lotus. Left knee up. You see how long it could take to get into the pose. We'll slowly exit. We'll bring the knees in. And this time we will just reach forward. So your legs are kind of on their own right now to stay in close. We'll hold the knees this time and rock a few times forward and back. And you may find that easier or harder than holding the feet. I find that it makes the legs have to be a little stronger because otherwise the feet are kind of wild. So the shins have to press together so they don't splay too much. And let's take a vinyasa, however it suits you. If you don't like all that lifting of the butt business, just shift your weight forward onto the hands and step back. And we'll meet in downward dog. Let's come to hands and knees again. We'll measure out, interlace the fingers. So this time we'll attempt a lotus once we're up in headstand. And if that's not for you, you're gonna go into ankle to knee pose. So if you can do it, just go ahead and do it. Otherwise, I'll talk you through the way in that's not quite as dramatic as lotus. So the legs will come up. Lotus people, just go into it, right leg first. Non-lotus people, right ankle to left lower thigh. And start to bend your left leg to help bring your right ankle toward your body. The whole right shin bone toward the body. So it's like flying pigeon, but upside down. Those of you in lotus are going to practice bringing your knees toward the chest like you did before. Those of you in flying pigeon, try the other side. Left ankle to right lower thigh. Bring your shin close to your chest. Stay as long as you want. We'll all meet in child's pose. When you can, downward dog. Let's come through to sitting. Upavishta Konasana. So the legs wide, but not crazy wide. It's not a split. We're going to slide the hands down the legs to try to grab the pinky toe side of the foot. Make sure the kneecaps face up and we fold forward. Okay, so we'll come on up. We're gonna cross our legs and do that rocking and rolling thing like we did before. However, some of you will go with a lotus leg. Potentially, right leg, then left leg, enough, just do that. Then you can hug it in like this. Otherwise, here's the cheat. Right arm, you're gonna put it in the crook behind your right knee. Then get your right leg to your half lotus. Then your left leg, you're gonna bring it in and tuck your left foot behind your right arm. Make your lotus real tight, and then the left hand is gonna start to come through this space that doesn't feel like a space. And I have to do a little bit of a kind of a redo of the lotus once I'm up. I'm constantly thinking about feet up higher toward the hips. What pants you're wearing matters, and then see how this arm is doing a boop, 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 little cranking motion to help get the arm through. It's very uncomfortable. The pants you're wearing matter. So here we are with the knees in. Whether you're in lotus, whether you're just hugging, here you are.
How do you get the left foot behind the right arm?
How do you get it there?
Yeah.
So you literally just put it there with your left hand. So
I don't think I'm flexible enough.
it's possible that it would explode. So you're here. Maybe this angle's better. So my left hand is free. I'm gonna hold the left foot and literally pull it so that it slips behind that arm. And then once it's there, I'm gonna flex it to pull it in closer. It's very awkward. So let's get out of there. Getting out of it is even harder than getting into it sometime. Let's vinyasa. We'll go back in a moment. And let's come through to sitting for Kukkutasana prep. Kukkutasana prep. So, hands down, lean forward, let your feet come to the ground for a moment, lift your butt. Then lower your butt. Lotus up your legs or half lotus. Or do the same thing you just did. Lean forward, lift your butt. If your legs are in lotus, you don't even have to think about lifting your feet. Then come on down. Hug the knees. So notice your back is a bit rounded here. That's what it has to do with the whole rocking and rolling business. But you'll notice if your lotus feet are close to your knees, there's no space. So lean back a little bit, lower your legs a little bit, and pull your feet higher up to your hips. Bring the knees in again. And slowly release. Navasana. Legs up. Cross the ankles. Vinyasa however you'd like. And we'll take a tripod headstand into Bakasana or tripod headstand into Urdhva Kukkutasana. The only difference is, do you put your legs in lotus or not? Otherwise, it's the same thing. So we'll all come up into a headstand. Make a choice, lotus or not. Try to get your lotus tight if you're choosing that. So a little bit of wiggling, waggling, then knees to arms. Head forward, chest forward, fingertips pull you. Whoop. So I fell out of it. You probably weren't looking at your screen, but that's because I let my butt get too heavy. Same thing happens if you're coming in from into a Bakasana. We let our butt get too heavy. So let's try that again. And remember what we did at the beginning of class when you were reaching your chest forward when you were doing this whole thing of stepping forward. Let's try to think of that when we come up. So we roll a little bit to the forehead. And whether you're trying the Bakasana version or Urdhva Kukkutasana version, it's the same deal. I feel like my Lotus is not tight enough today. Once you're up satisfactorily to yourself, then we'll just reverse it by coming to headstand. Chaturanga out of headstand. And let's rock forward to plank. Slowly lower down to your belly. Sphinx pose. Prop up on the forearms. Drag yourself forward and roll the shoulders back. Left hand across. You can pick up your right elbow so your hand has a spot. Right hand back. And pull that foot in as close as you can. Release that leg, other side. Keep the left hip down. And slowly get out of there. Hands return to that Sphinx pose. We'll turn it into a forearm plank. Curl the toes. Hoist your hips. And walk the feet in, down dog B. We'll straighten the arms. Come through to your butt. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Heels close. Hips up. Rock a little side to side. Interlace the fingers. And to take out my bun. You feel like your neck is in a weird spot because of your hair. You need to do something about the bun. Let's keep our hands as close together as we can. Arms straight. Lower your butt onto your forearms. You'll just be stuck in this wonderful chest stretch. Release your butt up enough to place your hands now by your shoulders, Urdhva Dhanurasana. And we're going to push chest back for each exhale. So you inhale a little, relax, exhale, push. Inhale, relax, exhale, push. And then come on down nice and slow. Bring the knees in. Rock a little side to side. And lift the head and shoulders, rock a little forward and back. Eventually to sitting, cross the shins, and step into down dog B. Feet will come back, elbows will come down. We'll walk the feet in a little. Pinchamayurasana. One leg can kick up. The second leg, you can even bend it in. That might help with the balance point. It might extend up, but it doesn't have to. You could also have your legs in a split. Exit through chaturanga. And we meet in downward dog. Right leg forward between the hands, left knee down. Anjaneyasana, you can turn this into a nice back bend with either Bakasana grip or interlace the fingers and kick. Or if you prefer something a little more relaxing, open your right toes out to the side, let the knee drop open so that it more resembles a pigeon stretch. Those of you who've chosen to hold your ankle, your foot is going to stay flexed, and you're going to eventually, maybe today, maybe not, bring your toes down. And let's change sides. Take your time, back foot forward, right foot back. Either the Bakasana grip or the interlaced on the ankle, or that lizard / pigeon type of place. Those of you holding the ankle, the left knee has to unbend when you reach back with your right foot. And let's all meet in downward dog. Take your time getting there. Let's take one last pinch of Mayurasana, because it is a lovely back bend that is not too back bendy. You could turn it into scorpion if you want it to be more back bendy. It's going to depend where you're looking. You can even play with it once you're in the air. Gaze between your wrists, then between your thumbs, between your pointer fingers, toward the top of your mat. You can take it back again. So you decide how bent you are based on where you're looking and where are you pushing your hips. Let's meet in child's pose. And slowly roll yourself up and have a seat on your butt. We're going to take our right leg either in front of the left, like Sukhasana, easy sitting, or your right leg into half lotus. And that left foot if you're in half lotus, can just be out of the way or supporting your knee. If your knee can't touch the floor, put something under it. So once you have your legs situated, if you're in half lotus, you're going to wrap your right arm behind you. We're all going to fold forward. So even if you're wrapped, you're not going to twist. You're going to still let your shoulders come down together. And we'll rise up, and we'll change which foot is in front or on top. So either the left leg is half lotus, the right foot either supporting it or not, or it's just in front. If you're in half lotus, you'll wrap your arm behind your back. Your foot should be high enough on your leg that your toes are there. If your half lotus is loose, there will be no toes to grab. It doesn't mean that you can't try. It just means you need a little more time. We fold forward any amount. And we'll rise up, and we'll cross the legs in what we would call we called it Indian style when I was a kid in the 80s. I don't know what they call it now. So either that or right leg first, then left leg, lotus, left arm first, then right arm. So you're grabbing your feet on both sides, and we fold forward. If you're not in lotus, just take hold of opposite elbows behind your back and try to fold evenly right to left. We'll rise up. We'll keep the legs crossed however they are. Slide the hands underneath the thighs, not next to the hips. It's just like before. It has to be forward. Round your back, just like before. Your elbows are bent. And then just straighten your arms, and your butt will lift up. Think knees to shoulders. 1, 2, we're going to go to 10. 3, 4, keep lifting knees to shoulders. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower your butt, release your legs, and let it go. Shavasana. That last one was Urdhva. Basically meant to work all of your muscles, everything is tense. And then you let it go for Shavasana, and it's a big release. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Sambho Shankara Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Arunachala Shiva Namah Shivaya. Arunachala Shiva Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Take a few more breaths here. And bring the knees in toward your chest. Rock and roll until you can sit up. And we'll bring the hands together. Thumbs between the eyebrows. And just fold forward any amount. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Good job, yogis.
Good job, yogis.
I love your kitty.
Isn't she so cute? She loves yoga.
She's like, I'm a princess. Look at me.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Yeah, you too.
Happy Zombie Day.
Bye.
Bye, John. Bye, Heidi. Say hi, Lucy.
Thanks, Rachel.
Hi, Kristen. Bye, Anthea.
Bye.